Hi there, Libra. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this reading finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So, as usual, this is going to be a relationship spread, meaning that you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because for me personally, I realize that with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, but probably because my Venus is in the 8th house along with my North Node there. I don't really know, but if it doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate, all right? There's so many amazing talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch, all right? But anyway, I'm going to be honest with you that I actually did a reading for you earlier this morning. It was pretty dark and it turns dark pretty quickly. So I decided to just kind of like redo a reading because, you know, I'm a Sagittarius. So when I meditated for this reading, I was like, you know what, even if it has to be a little bit challenging for you, like let's talk about, you know, the lessons that you might learn from this and also how to strategize to yourself to go around the situation. Okay, so let's talk about your overall energy for the now. You have the 7 of Wands in reverse, you have the 6 of Wands, and then you also have, this is very reflective, you also have the 9 of Swords. What's challenging you is that you have the Ace of Wands and then you also have the 5 of Cups. So this mutable energy around Virgo season is kind of like quite crazy, isn't it? And it's kind of like quite crazy for a Libra itself because you are the type of person who likes order, you like harmony, you like everything that has to be in peace. And me being a mutable sign, like, I understand how it could actually lead you nuts. Like one day it's like this, the other day you might be feeling like this. And I feel like it happens on a daily basis. Like 6 hours, how you feel 6 hours from now, it could be different than how you're feeling now, if that makes sense. Because there is this crazy conflict that is going on within you. Like you have the 7 of Wands in reverse, you have the 6 of Wands, you have the 9 of Swords. So I feel like in terms of other than relationship sector, other than love, I feel like there's going to be something that you're going to be celebrating about. I mean, 6 of Wands, and it kind of like help you to have a great confident boost. But in terms of relationship, like one day you have the 7 of Wands in reverse. Like one day you really want to lay your weapon down and compromise with this person and have a heart-to-heart talk. The other day you're like, no way. Now I'm now in much better place. I'm now on the 6 of Wands. I'm trying to build myself up. And the ping pong, the tick-tock between this inner conflicts that is going on within you is one of the reasons why you guys are like the 9 of Swords currently. Having this crazy roller coaster mental journey. And it doesn't have to do, like, although I understand, like relationship-wise, yes, it's an outer factor. But the inner factor within you, you're also in conflict about it. You know what I mean? And I really remember your past reading, you basically had the High Priestess. So I feel like similar to, I think, Gemini, maybe a period of idleness is kind of like quite necessary in this situation where you don't have to think, you don't have to figure out, you don't have to solve a problem, you don't have to have the answer now. Maybe a period where you guys are just kind of like be a very intent observant of a situation without even having to make a decision about things is the ideal way to approach the situation altogether. And not just because of the relation, not just for the relationship's sake, but for your sake, so you don't entrap yourself into the 9 of Swords type of way. Because 9 of Swords, especially for an air sign, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like you guys think on a daily basis, and if you surround yourself with this inner conflicts, you're basically hurting yourself. Yeah? Do you hurt them? Yeah, but you're also hurting yourself by doing this. Okay? So what is the challenge of this relationship? You have the Ace of Wands and then you also have the 5 of Chalices or 5 of Cups. So Ace of Wands, so as the overall challenge, we're talking about a stunted growth. Something that started really, really hot. When things were good, it was so freaking good. But when it's cold, it's really, really cold. And then Five of Cups is the card of freaking out. And it could literally be a card of having our past trauma overcloud or clouding our judgment into our present relationship. And this person does have like a lot of trust issues because they are being represented by the Queen of Swords in reverse in this present moment. And it's something that you don't want to be dealing with because you have the Nine of Wands. But here's the funny part, Libra, is that when they were, I mean, I'm going to clarify that Queen of Swords and I want to know what kind of like leads to that. But anyway, in the past, you helped them deal with their shadow side a lot. They did have like a lot of trust issues. They did have like a lot of insecurities about themselves. They did have things, but your way of loving this person, the Two of Cups, you know, the tossing of the cups, the beautiful interaction, the beautiful emotional connections that both of you have, was able to free themselves off that shadow side that they were in. Because this person, I feel like it's either they have a rejection issue or they have a little bit of an abandonment issue because they felt like they've been abandoned in the past, either by their family or by their lovers or what have you. But this person does have that. And when they're having this beautiful relationship with you, when things were really, really good, you're able to heal them out of their shadow side. So they kind of like understand, okay, this way of doing things using a lenses that I used to see my past trauma and having to wear that in my present relationship is unhealthy for the relationship that I have with Libra and so on and so forth. So that was that. And it was like a beautiful thing. I mean, you guys have a 10 of Cups. So there's a collective happiness that is being played in here. You guys also feel very, very productive in terms of work just because you feel like their emotional support, like when things were really, really great, you guys became really, really motivated in every areas of your life, which is very, very beautiful. But there's a missing link over here, and I kind of want to know why. Ini apa yang terjadi di antara ini sebenarnya? So what does this person actually really, really wants? They actually wants to have a commitment with you, and they're coming to you in a very, very masculine type of way. But again, the Princess of Chalices or Princess of Cups, especially in this particular deck of mine, is a very highly demanding, emotionally individual. It's a very, very long phrase, I know. And they can be very, very intense as well. Like they need an intense type of love. They really do need that. When things are really, really beautiful, they don't really mind that. But when they feel like they kind of like are not being prioritized at this very moment, it can be because you've been busy with your work more, or you've been busy hanging out with your friends more, or what have you. This person then would resort into demanding of attention type of behavior, if that makes sense. And yeah. And you're not really happy about it. A Sherry card, because it's a very, very masculine card, it could also talk about them trying to come to you in what you perceive as being a very, very controlling way. And if you don't abide by that, they resort to that Queen of Swords in reverse. So again, in the past, this person was really beautiful because they were detaching themselves away from their shadow side, but there's still a residue in there, yeah? So in the now, they're taking the Queen of Swords in reverse type of behavior, and they became much more of an air sign than you guys are, because the Queen of Swords in reverse is the Queen of silent treatment, passive aggressive, mirroring one another, gaslighting, pulling away. Two of Wands in reverse, not wanting to give effort into this relationship and everything like that. And it's just something that makes you crazy. I feel like this person really knows which button to press when it comes to you. and you don't want to deal with it any longer because it's giving you like a lot and tons of mental anxiety, up to the point that you feel like you're kind of like being drained right now. You're kind of like bleeding in love right now, and you're starting to realize, well, maybe if you have a belief that this was your twin flame, you're thinking, well, maybe this is not really my twin flame. Or if you had a belief that this was your soulmate, you're kind of like doubting that thing. And now, but it's a bit different than the King of Swords though, but now you're starting to remember the bitter memories of the past, and you're kind of like holding on to that. Like, why is it that I don't like this person any longer? And you're kind of like holding on to that so that you have enough strength to push them away with the Nine of Wands. So whoever it is, I mean, if you guys are still in contact with one another, whoever it is that they're dealing with is not your true authentic self, because you're protecting your heart, you're protecting your mind, you're protecting your sanity, because the Queen of Swords in reverse can get quite savage. I must say, 5 kartu masa depan. Three of Swords in reverse. The Emperor card. Princess of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Chalices. All right, so now in the future card, if you guys are still wanting to be dealing with this energy, this is going to be your reading. But if you really want to get over with, it's going to be on another portion. All right, it's still going to be in this reading, but wait a second. I mean, like, be patient. But if you still kind of like want to be dealing with this energy, this person hasn't changed of being very, very masculine. I mean, this person is very vocal about what is it that they want, the situations that in which they kind of like want, and they're being kind of like quite pushy about it. But I feel like you guys are able to assure them in some ways, and even if you're a male though, you kind of like this masculine energy of them, and you guys are being very, very optimistic that, well, maybe this is going to go well this time. This person still does have trust issues because this person is still stalking you or playing detective with you, or like even in the future, like in the now, they're doing this, yeah, with the Queen of Swords in reverse there. There's like a little bit of a confirmation bias that is going on too, meaning that they also already have a certain set of belief when it comes to you. So the way that they stalk or the way they try to source out their information is based off of their beliefs. So if they believe that you've been cheating on them, they're going to be finding out information about that and dismissing the information that they receive that, well, you weren't cheating, like you've always been loyal. They kind of like quite dismiss that. And why is that? Is because of the fear of what I told you earlier. You know, they have their shadow side. If you were to meet this person before this person dealt with whatever traumatic experiences that they were having in the past, it's beautiful because this person is able to love someone so unconditional. They were the Princess of Chalices. That's like the best. Like, I understand the King of Cups is good, but Princess of Chalices is a very, very sweet, unconditional type of love. It's very beautiful. But because if somebody fucked them up, it could be their parents, it could be their ex-lovers or what have you, they became cold, they're numbing themselves, they're traumatized by it and all those stuff. So in the future, they're going to get over the fact that you kind of like hurt them, because they're hurting also in the now, and they're going to be pretty vocal about what is it that they want. You kind of like see them as still being kind of like quite pushy, and they're still going to be observing you, going to be stalking you, going to source out information about you. But I feel like you guys are going to be quite happy about it. All right, so if you're only dating one person and you kind of like waiting around for this person to be less of a Queen of Swords in reverse. So, but if you guys are single and you're actively seeking, I feel like you guys are going to be meeting a very either a Virgo or somebody with a lot of fire in their chart. So it could be a fire sign, or it could be an air sign, or a Virgo. And this person is very, very masculine in a way that they want you. And you're kind of like really pleased about it, because you know that this person is kind of like right gung-ho over you. This person is crazy over you. And you guys are like the Seven of Pentacles. But I feel like because of the curiosity that you guys are having in it now, there's going to be a major impulse that is happening in 1 to 2 weeks from now. That kind of like they kind of like make you want to be doing something in terms of person A or your past person. And it's either you're going to be liking their social media, or you're going to be talking to them in a good way, or what have you. But I feel like you will have a tendency to do that. And then your past person, the person that you're trying to leave behind, is still going to be stalking you from in the past, in the now, or even in the future. All right. So that's that. If you're single and you're looking, there's going to be somebody coming in your way, but then there's also going to be a little bit of an intervention of your nosy ex. So what happens if you guys are dealing with 2 people? So meaning that if you're only dealing with 1 person, your reading ends here, yeah? So if you're dealing with 2 people, I feel like okay, let's go to person B first. Person B is somebody who you had an awful lot of time to try to work things through with them. You had the 8 of Pentacles, so you've been very diligent. You've been very consistent in trying to work things out with them and everything like that. And I feel like now this person is withdrawing themselves. They are the 2 of Wands in reverse, so they're not participating. They're not becoming an active participant when it comes to love in regards to you. And you guys are like the 6 of Cups in reverse anyway. So you're trying to remember the bitter memories of the past to get over this person. But in the future, I feel like this person is going to come into your way. They have the Emperor card, so it's a very, very fiery type of way. And you guys are like the 7 of Pentacles. So I feel like you kind of like manifested this person to come back into your life somehow, because you have the 7 of Pentacles. So you kind of like manifested this yourself, because you believe that this person is going to come back either way, because you feel that it's either a twin flame-ish type of relationship, or as a karmic, and you still have a karmic debt that is not being paid off, or whatever that is. But you kind of like manifested this person to come into your way. In the future, person A, okay? Person A is a totally different person than person B. Person A is somebody that you had a really great emotional connections with, but the sad part is that in the now, this person A is starting to become very, very mentally manipulative, because they are passive aggressive. They do like a lot of gaslighting. There's like a lot of silent treatment at play. There's like a lot of blaming that is being at play, so they fuck you up mentally, and you don't really want to be dealing with that type of energy. So you guys are like the 9 of Wands in there. But I feel like curiosity killed the cats, because you guys are being curious about it, and I feel like in the future you guys are going to be trying to do something about them. Yeah. But really though, if you're like really, really single and you're done with this 2 type of energy, I feel like there's going to be somebody coming in your way that you truly have manifested. So if you're really, really single, and I should have said this earlier, but if you're really, really single, just try to, I don't know, like try to manifest somebody who you really, really want to come into your life, because I feel like your manifestation practice in the future is on point. You know what I mean? In 1 to 2 weeks from now, like your manifestation practice is like this. It's just like you call out your like literal what you really want in your life. All right. So I think that's that for my reading for you, Libra. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys find like a lot of clarity in this reading, and I hope you have a great week ahead. All right, bye-bye.